Children aged 5 to 11 here in Ontario have received, or about 1 in 4 of those children have already received their first dose of their vaccine. They've been coming to clinics like this one here at the Metro Toronto Convention Centre, though there's already concern with that age group and all the progress that's being made that we could see that number plateau in the near future.
It's a remarkable start. And frankly, for the first week, it surpassed our expectations.
At both the municipal and provincial levels, politicians are singing the praises of young children and those families who've stepped up to do their part. Health Minister Christine Elliott today tweeting out that 21% of children aged 5 to 11 in Ontario have received the pediatric COVID-19 vaccine.
Throughout this vaccination campaign, Torontonians of all ages have stepped up, and our 5 to 11-year-old superheroes are now doing the same.
Toronto and the rest of the province is about 2 weeks into the vaccine drive for this age group. The one metric medical experts are keeping an eye on is whether or not the number of families signing up their children will plateau. 12 to 17-year-olds also had a strong start to their vaccine push, but at the 30-day mark, that number plateaued. Doctors are hoping history won't repeat itself.
I think there's more urgency now to get the kids vaccinated than there was in the summer when the youth were eligible for vaccination.
Toronto is trying to combat any drop-off in vaccine numbers by rolling out 49 school-based clinics in areas deemed high risk by the city this week alone. And Public Health Chair Joe Cressy says they're on track to visit 200 schools.
They're being brought in this first phase over the month of December to 34 targeted neighborhoods where we've seen vaccine rates a little lower and COVID rates higher.
Today, New York City's mayor mandated the COVID vaccine for children aged 5 to 11 for activities such as restaurants and community centers. It's a first of its kind in the USA. Here at home, pediatrician Anna Banerjee says the focus should be to add COVID-19 to the list of infectious disease vaccinations for children to attend school.
We have mandatory vaccination for things that are a lot less frequent, like diphtheria and tetanus. And so, so far, COVID has killed 30,000 people in Canada.
Toronto's Board of Health agrees and has recommended that COVID-19 be added to the list of required vaccines for school-aged children, though that's a decision that would have to be made by the province. The leader of the opposition at Queen's Park had this to say about the Ford government's push for kids to get their shots.
The government really hasn't done much to encourage those kids, and particularly parents, to get their kids vaccinated. Instead, it feels like this government's just taken a completely laissez-faire approach to the vaccination of our younger children.
Doug Ford's office did respond in an email which in part noted that the Premier was praising the more than 100,000 kids and families about a week ago who signed up for the COVID vaccine, though the provincial Conservatives have balked at the notion of adding the vaccine to the list of mandatory ones for school-aged children.